What's going on, y'all? We're gonna get started in a second. So I'll send this link out there. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So it looks like the indices already started their moves. So for now, we're just gonna let them do their thing until they retrace. Could retrace when London session starts or right before New York. But for now, we'll leave these alone because they already started their move. US30, we could potentially enter on this because it's right above the 4-hour level I marked off, and it's already been stacking up. It's already pushing right now, so we're going to see what the next 15 looks like because we do got 2 minutes until the next 15-minute candlestick starts. But we can see the indices are currently pushing up, but they are already started their move while I was sleeping, so we're just going to alone for now. And your gold started this move as well. So we're going to see if we can retrace and still respect this level. Then we could probably go for a buy setup. So we're going to see the retrace going into London session. But we have a bunch of possible setups. They just already started, that's the thing. Should retrace a little bit though. So we'll see what this next 15 looks like, and of course what the 15 looks like going into London. But we do see the USD pairs looking like they're going to continue to push up for the uptrend, at least for right now. Euro JPY still pushing up. Me and remember it's called a sell. Had another one marked up for this morning. Price is still pushing up. Looks like it's data right here, so it could drop back under after hitting this level, like we seem to do 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Low price. We could possibly look for a sell setup. Push back up. Possibly hits the daily zones. So let's see what these guys are up to real quick. Yeah, these look like they're trying to keep pushing. So right here at a wall though. It's already hit the wall and retested though, so it could try to break this candlestick actually. If it can break this wall is underneath, it can push up another like 10,000 pips potentially. Looks like it's trying to break it. You know, it looks like price is trying to break that. I kind of want to enter off a retest. It looks like it already did a retest, so I might not do it again. So it looks like it's trying to break that level. Let me see the other indices. The NAS is already climbing up. SPX. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it alone for now because there's a 4-hour zone that these indices are about to hit, so it could reject like we see it did with 2 times here, 3 times here. Once it hits that level, for the next retracement to enter these. So we're just gonna leave those alone for now. Same thing with gold. I want to see gold retrace a bit more. It's currently underneath the wall, so I'm gonna leave these alone. So we're gonna look at some currency pairs and see what's going down. You see Euro USD, just like the indices underneath the wall right here. We're gonna leave that alone. As So we're going to scan these currency pairs and see if we can find some setups this morning. So Euro JPY, the members caught a nice drop down after rejected off this level, hit the daily zone again, as you can see. In the past with a strong resistance level. You see it 3 times here. You see it reject this level here and here, correcting this level here when we caught the sales down. So it makes sense. We could have went for a buy down here, but as of now, I'm just going to leave it alone. It could continue to push up, but I'm just going to wait to see what's going to reject. It could reject when it hits this next level of price right here, or it could keep climbing up. But for now, I'm just going to let it continue to do its thing because it's already shot up a while. So it could retrace either at this level, because it's just looking to the left, price literally just shot up and broke above this level. So it could respect this level and continue to push up, or it could reject back down. But for now, I'm just going to leave it alone and let it do its thing. So I'm going to leave EJ alone for now. We're in New Zealand. I was looking for a sell setup, but it didn't really start until after I was done entering trades. So I hit the daily zone. Now it's earning this 4-hour level, and so far it's respecting as resistance. So if it can continue to do so, we could potentially look for a sell setup here, or if price breaks above this level, we're going to try to look for a sell setup back at the daily zone up here. But so far it is respecting this level like we've seen it do here. So we're just going to wait and see what the next couple of candlesticks do, because it does look like it is trying to break above it. So we're just going to wait and see what it decides to do. And your AED is pushing up. I want to see it push up a little bit more. I want to see it touch the daily zone again, because after it had this huge rip down, as we can see on the hour and also on the 15, it hasn't really retested the daily zone. That kind of just shot down. We can see on the 5-minute if it perhaps did, but not really. It just shot down. So I want to see it retest, and then I want to see it respect the daily zone's resistance, and then catch a possible sell back down to the lowest it's been so far. So that's when we're waiting on. It is currently retracing up. So hopefully the next couple of candlesticks will do the trick. But if not, just going to still wait until it comes up a little bit higher. So I do see it coming up to that daily zone. Euro CAD, just like the other USD pairs, they are all pushing up slightly. The move already started though, so I personally don't want to enter it. US30 is struggling to break this level right here. So I would really not like, I wanted to see it retrace and then come so we can jump in and buy and then to break that level, but it is trying to break that level. The new 5-minute did just start, as we can see, and now they're trying to attempt to break it right now. But because considering US30, these look like small candlesticks, but where it's currently at to where I'd ideally want to enter, or off the 4-hour zone, for example. The 4-hour zone, I got it all the way down here. So that's a few thousand pips right there of extra drawdown that we could avoid. And then they'll also make the risk to reward a little bit smaller. Like, yeah, right here will still be a 1 or 2. So we could enter here realistically. But we see it struggling with this wall right here. So it can do 1 or 2 things, especially because it's early right now. It's not even close to New York session. So it could break this level and continue to push up and then come to the 4-hour level zone here, or it could just do what we see a lot of times in the morning, just bob. As we can see right here, it has been slowly pushing up. We've been doing a lot of retests though, because not a lot of volume. So we're just going to keep an eye on it. But just looking at the bigger time frames, we can clearly see that it has been bullish and we haven't in a huge uptrend. But looking at the past couple of days, we have seen some retracements, which we already anticipated, because again, just looking at the daily zones, we see this a strong resistance level here, strong resistance level here, strong resistance. Then also the same level is a strong support. So it makes sense for price to just do what it did in the past. The last time it came up here, the last time it was an uptrend, we could potentially see a repeat of the downtrend beginning. But until it breaks at least past this level and continues to push down, I'm still going to look for primarily buy setups. price did almost hit the daily zone here before rejected back up, and price is currently pushing back up. So if price continues pushing this way, we could see it will first hit the 4-hour zone here, but the daily zone, I like to see hit the daily zone and then possibly see if the uptrend is going to continue or if it's going to reject back down. But for now, I am going to still be looking for buys, but I wouldn't be surprised if either the downtrend begins either the end of this week or next week, or we see some retracements. Because for the most part, it's been a pretty huge, pretty smooth uptrend. When we look on the bigger time frame, it wasn't until recently we've seen some more red candlesticks the past couple of weeks. But before that, we had this huge push up. So that's what I see going on with US30. And of course, the other indices will follow it a little bit. But if you look at the other indices on the daily time frames, they do look a little bit different. But on the smaller time frames, as in currently, we can see they're all pushing up. Now, US30 and these indices started to move like a little bit earlier, like an hour or two ago. So if I was up an hour or two ago, I would have entered and we'd be up. But for now, I'm going to see if it's going to retrace off this wall right here. But so far, it looks like it's trying to break it. But I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Your AD hasn't hit that level yet, but it is rejecting. So I'm going to see what the next 15 and next 5 minute look like. Because again, I would like to see it retest this daily zone because it hasn't touched it yet since it broke underneath here. So I'm still going to hold off on that. Yeah, those things are pushing. So we got about 6 minutes till when this session starts. GJ looking very similar to EJ. Came up to the 4-hour zone and now it's rejecting. So we could look for entry off here, but again, I wasn't trading during that time. I was on the chart. So the next best entry is going to be seeing how it reacts to the daily zone. So for now, I'm just going to let it continue to do its thing to see how it reacts to the daily zone, because it did have a nice dump during the news yesterday and hit the same level that it hit multiple times that we see it reject off of. Then push right back above the daily zone here. So we're going to see how it reacts to that level. So looking on the bigger time frame, if we zoom out, let me get rid of some of these lines real quick. So my thing looks a little bit more clear. I'm going to keep that one. All right. So we can see this is the highest price has hit for the past few weeks, and ever since it hit that level, it's just been retracing down. We can kind of see a lower high and a lower low here. So it makes sense why price reacted to this level, because we can see here how this is the strong support resistance level on one of the smaller time frames. So price hit this level and pushed back up. So now it's above this daily level. So right now, I'm just going to wait to see how it's going to react. It's a little bit too far either way to enter a buy or sell. So I'm just going to wait for price to retrace or continue to push and then see how it reacts to the next zone closest to it or the first zone it hits and then go from there. But for now, I would like to see how it reacts to this daily level here. I wouldn't be surprised if price keeps on pushing up to the next daily level above, kind of like how EUR/JPY could potentially do so. But for now, it looks like they're both dropping. So we're just going to see how it reacts to that level there. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, so your AD is trying to drop right now. So we're going to see what the next candlestick looks like. Let's see if we can come up to here. It looks like it's rejecting right off this level right here. We're going to see what the next candlestick looks like. Your AD, her cat still pushing. G's pushing us. All the USD pairs are pushing right now. On this session candlestick looks like that thing just exploded. Yes. So let's see what the next candlestick looks like. GBPJPY is probably pushing as well. Okay, so the price continues to push. You see price rejected this level. You see the retest off the daily zone. We see currently price breaking. So I want to see where this candlestick closes and what the next candlestick does. But because if we can stay above this level, we can see if we can catch some pips. So we're about to take a look at it. We got a small wall here. We see price kind of came to a halt. So I want to see how price reacts to this wall. I'm trying to just determine what part I want to put it on. I think we'll do that. And so if price can stay above this level, we can go for a buy right here. Be about 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 risk true board. Because the other pairs are pushing up, but these are a little bit too late. We could have jumped in on there, but I usually don't enter trades before London session. So we're gonna see what these next candlesticks look like. And the gold's pushing up as well. And so all the USD pairs are pumping, as well as the Canadian pairs. And I had these marked off a couple hours ago, but I just want to assume, but it's all good. So we're gonna look at GB's a little too far for. So we're gonna look at GBPCAD, see what the next candlestick looks like. Let's see if there's any other pairs that will possibly jump on. 80, I had all these marked up, but these already started to move. It's on top of this level. Let me see what that oh, like 10 pips away. Okay, so we're gonna probably jump on this one too. It's got a wall right there though, so we're gonna see how it reacts. We can see it's rejecting off that level. But it did just break above the level I want to see a break above. So we're gonna see what the next candlesticks look like. If the USD and Canadian pairs continue to pump, we could possibly look for a buy setup. Catch about possibly 20 plus pips. So we're gonna see what happens there. So we see AJ looks just like the other JPY pairs on top of 4-hour zone. Let's go on a smaller time frame, see what's going on. So currently it's respecting that level. So same thing with AJ, we could maybe look for a buy setup here, but we do have these huge levels of traffic that we see price when they hit it, reject it off of. Okay, London session just started, so we'll get back to that in a second. We're just trying to push right now. So I'm gonna let it marinate for a second. So look on the daily time frame. Price has been pushing up the past few days, making new highs, retesting these levels and continue to push up. So as we can see here, price retested the daily zone and is currently projecting, pushing up. We do have a slight wall that's currently above, and we have a slight wall about 20 pips above us that it could reject off of. So we do have to keep that in mind. But if volume continues to pump up this way into New York session, we could catch the whole move zone to zone. But for now, I want to try to at least target this wall here. Minimum, if not this wall. So I do like how it's looking right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's rejecting that level. Nice rejection look on the hour as well. So we can see the wall I'm talking about just by these candlesticks on the hour. So it's currently struggling to break that one wall there, but if we can break that wall and stay above it, we can catch some pips. We have a nice rejection look on the last hour. So it looks like price is retesting it real quick on the 15. So we see some retest for US30 as well. It's retesting the wall it just broke above to see if we can stay above it. This was the retest I was wanting to see this rejected and then retest, but now it's retesting above it, so it could potentially keep pumping up. But it's all good. Let me see what gold is at. Okay, gold hit the 4-hour zone. So I'm gonna wait to see if price can break above it. or if it's going to reject it. I want to see oil push up a little bit more. Into the trade too late on this one. Really broke underneath and rejected back up. Then it came back up to the nearest daily zone above it, then dropped down. So enter the sell too late on that. Let's see what these other USD pairs are up to. So everything's retracing right now, which makes sense because again, it's London session. We see this happen a lot. Retracements on the first candlestick going into London, but retracements can work out for us because retracements have to happen anyways, and they give us a better entry. So price can really respect this level. Could possibly go for a buy setup. Just want to wait to see what the next 5 minute looks like. So while that's doing that, let's look at some other pairs real quick. 80 USD looking the same. Really people on. Gonna leave that alone. So just scanning the other charts that I have up, see what else going on. So New Zealand JPY looks very similar to the other JPY pairs, except when I have this marked off right here. It has rejected and is currently pushing down. Interesting. So it's got a wall right here. It's currently at. When we see last time price hit this wall, it rejected. It came back up. Then it hit the same level here, then rejected back down. So we could have entered right here. We could be at like 20 pips right now. So we're going to see how it reacts to that level. So again, we don't really want to chase a trade. It is a little bit too far, ideally. Now, 20 pips might not sound like much, but for this pair, 20 pips is a lot of pips. Even if we enter right here, the risk to reward will still be decent. It'll still be like a 1 to 2. That'll be a 1 to 1. Scratch that. But we see right now how it's rejecting that wall. So we're going to see if it will retrace and we could possibly re-enter. And if not, we'll look at some correlating pairs and try to jump in on those. So we see price on the 5 minute just retested the level. Now it's rejecting. We got a new 5 minute. So I'm going to see if this one's going to turn green or not. So we broke above this level. We retested. So stop loss for this. I do like how I was looking, but I'm still going to wait a little bit. So the session did just start. The stop loss for this, we can put around 56. Let's say 56.95. Because we see last time when price hit this lower price here, it rejected. We see price. Well, let's put it right here actually. You can see this work right here when price hit this wall, rejected. So we're going to have our stop loss right underneath that because the price can stay underneath that level. And we see price almost rejected the same area again. If price can stay above this level, we can possibly see a repeat of this. That's what we're going to be looking for. Get rid of that. So I was retesting the level again. And if I zoom in, move that out the way. So you can see that. Yeah, but the USD pairs took off, so maybe we should have entered on those. But it's all good. It's still early in the day. So we're still going to wait for GC to do its thing. Is retesting this level. So we're going to see if we can respect it or not. Got 8 minutes to the next 15. So while that's retracing down, let's see what's going on with these right here. So looking at gold, it's obviously been exploding and very bullish for the past few weeks. If you look at the daily time frame, you can see very similar to the other indice pairs. It's a clear push up. exploded daily zones. We see the retest off this level. As soon as it retested, it exploded up. So right now we're going to wait and see if it can make potential new high. But you see yesterday, this is where price closed at. Obviously it exploded and went higher, but price closed right where it's currently at today. So we're going to see if it can break above this level, trade as support. We can possibly look for a buy up to 1790, as high as 1800, or price is going to reject this level, look back around 7072, or back at the daily zone around 1760. So that's what we're waiting for. But we can see price is pushing and attempting to break that level. So we're just going to wait to see if it can do so. Because if we just look to the left, we can see the last couple times price broke above this level, it rejected, and we can also see that price really struggled to break above that level again. And so a few hours later. Yeah, and then for NAS, same thing. It's a little too late for the entry. So we're going to wait to see how it reacts to the daily zone around 11,990-ish. See if it's going to reject it again, or if we're going to be able to break above it and possibly look for another buy setup. But we're going to hit those daily. We're going to see price break above those levels. So we do have news this morning again. I think 8 o'clock or 8:30, one of the two. So I want to see if, I want to see if that's going to show us what price is going to do for the rest of this week and possibly next week. Because again, we're at a very sensitive level where either the downtrend can be up, continue for a little bit. But we got Canadian news at 8:30, as well as USD news. We got the CPI for Canada. So we'll see how that's the markets. But as of now, this thing is pushing. It did break above that level. It is pushing. And to no surprise, the other USD pairs are pushing as well. So we're going to let those do their thing still. Yeah, so that's still respecting that as a support level. So let's go back to that level above. Okay, so we're going to let that do its thing still. Your cat's pushing. Let me see. Nope. So all the moves that already started are still just pumping. So now we're just waiting to see where either the price is going. We're waiting to see it go to the nearest zone for the moves already started, or we're waiting for retracement to posture. Or at good, like GBPJPY at a good buy setup. We see the periods in EuroCAD, but GBP is not doing so at the moment. So we're just going to patiently wait to see how it reacts to that level, to see if we can jump in anything. Going to leave GN alone. GN going to leave alone. And so that's rejecting. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like for that. But if it breaks back under the daily zone, then we're just going to leave it alone for now. We got 3 minutes until the next 15. We got 80 JPY. Looking just like the other JPY pairs. So if it can break underneath it, I'll stay underneath it. We could possibly look for a sell setup. We do have some slight walls here that could reject off of. So we're going to see how it reacts and what the next candlestick looks like. So we could possibly look for a sell setup here. Just put stop loss above this level here. Could possibly see a sell setup here. So we're going to break underneath this level. We could possibly look for one here. Or if it rejects back up, we're going to see how price reacts to the daily zone up here. It is currently trying to break through it. So we're going to take a look and see how it reacts to this level here. Because if it can break underneath this level and stay underneath it, then we can see price most likely continue to push down and break through these levels. But also, we just see here back testing, we see when price hit this level going this way, rejected. And also right here, when price hit this level, it rejected. Then we also see price almost touching this level and rejecting. So we want to wait and see how price reacts to this, because we don't want to just jump in now, because we do have a strong wall here, so it could hit this level, then reject back up. So we want to wait to see how it reacts after it touches that level. Let's push them down. Yeah, so the indices are pumping. AUSD is not doing much right now. So the Euro, USD, and Euro CAD are pumping up, or they were pumping up. GC is retracing still. So GJ is still dropping some as well. So again, we see it looks very similar to AJ. Now, same as trade idea, we could have entered off of this level right here, like I think we did a couple days ago. No, we didn't. No, we entered off this level. So we've been catching mostly sells, and we see every time price hits these levels, harsh rejection down. It came back to this low rejection down. We see the price hit this low rejected. So we could have went for a sell here, but the move started a little bit before I would have started trading. But if I was awake during the time, we would have entered here. We could be up potentially like 40 plus pips. So now the next best entry is going to be around this level. So we're going to see how price reacts to this level, and then we're going to go from there. But for now, we're just going to let price do its thing. We got a few seconds till the next 15 starts. Price just came to retest the daily zone. It is respecting it so far. So I want to see if price is going to break back above this level. That's what I want to see price do. So we're going to wait and see if price can do that. So we see GJ looking very similar to the past couple 15-minute candlesticks. But we see price currently red, trying to break through it. So we're going to see if it can break through this box right here. This looks very similar to the other JPY pairs. I was saying this is EJ. We kind of got the same idea for EJ, and they kind of are doing the same thing. So just going to be waiting. So we caught this sell yesterday as well. So let's see if it can repeat itself. Just looking at these other pairs, oil is pushing up more. So it is actually at a close to good entry. But I want to see what's going to push up more. And I want to see what the next couple candlesticks look like. So we could potentially see a sell set up here, so we can make our money back from yesterday off oil. So let's just go to the other time frames real quick. So oil's just really been bouncing past few weeks. You can't really see a clear trend on this. This one's really just been a ranging, bouncing market. Now, if we rewind a couple months ago, like 3 months ago, we're catching mainly sells because it was a nice downtrend. But since it's hit this level, price has just been bouncing up and down, struggling to break these levels of traffic. So just going to wait to see how it reacts to that daily zone. Just looking at it, we see price currently for the daily candlestick up today just came down almost at the 4-hour level, rejected back up. Now it's currently back at this level where we see these rejection wicks, price pushing down. We also see this level, price getting treated as this level. So strong support can be a strong resistance. So I'm going to see if price is going to continue to respect this as a resistance, and we can possibly see price finish the move it tried to start a few hours ago. So we're going to see what the next couple of candlesticks look like, and then go from there. Let's go back to GC. It looks like it's trying. Yes, and you see they're still trying to push, but they are right at some key levels. So I'm gonna see how it reacts to those levels. And go from there. So gold's rejecting that level. So isn't a surprise. So it's either respectable. It is going to try to respect this level and continue to push up, or it's going to come back down to this 4-hour level. So we're just going to wait to see it do one or two things: come back to this 4-hour level and then determine what to do from there. We could possibly look for a buy setup there, or see if we can break above this level and stay above it, and then possibly look for a buy setup pushing up. But for now, it is rejecting the level. So we're just going to leave it alone for now. GBPJPY rejecting still. Still gonna wait though. Let's see what your AD is up to. Yeah, so it's kind of chilling at this level. I want to see it come up a little bit higher before I enter. But it is pretty close to the entry I want to see it be at. Just retesting this level. So ideally I want to see it come up a little bit higher, then reject down, and then you can ride the wave down. So I want to see if it will come a little bit higher, but it is at a decent entry. So I'm going to just keep an eye on it and see what this candlestick does and the next one. So definitely just respecting this level here and struggling to break past it. Alright, so that's retracing too. GJ is still dropping. EJ is trying to break. AJ is dropping still. Maybe cash dropping. So USD and Canadian pairs are retracing right now. So even JPY, it's looking very tempting. Still at this wall right here. It hasn't broken this wall. It's still rejecting that wall. But it retested this level here and is rejecting it, which is a good sign. And the other JPY pairs are dropping. See price. Potentially break that level. It's currently on this wall right here, but it is trying to drop and break that level. It's pushing down as well. Yeah, I kind of like what I see here. So I'm gonna leave this alone because there are similar pairs doing the same thing. Let me see what this is up to. Alright. So I'm gonna pay attention to this. EJ and AJ. I might not jump in all of them. I might jump in 2 of them if they do continue to push down. because I do like how these are looking right here. Do like how these are looking right here. Do like how these are looking. And so I'm gonna get these trade ideas written up. See if we can make some money this hour. Dang, so now I'm like, do I need to start jumping in trees or looking at the charts before London? Because that's how I miss. So I got these opportunities right here. Yeah, so it's breaking underneath. So now I just want to see it close underneath here. Ideally, at least on the 5 minute, 15 would be best. You can see this is a wall right here. We see price broke underneath it and it's rejecting it currently. So I want to see the price can stay underneath there. GJ still trying to push down. He's just getting a little bit closer. Yeah, so we're just going to be patiently waiting. Not in a rush, just going to let the charts do its thing. GC is retesting as well and trying to push up. So I want to see how it reacts to this orange line. If it can break above that orange line and break through this wall, I might jump in this as well. So I'm still looking at GC. Might jump in that as well. Let me see what this is looking like. Okay, this is a good entry too. So I'm going to pay attention to this too. It is rejecting off this orange line. So we could possibly jump into this as well. The indices are pumping up. Gold was pumping up. Gold is still trying to pump up. Trying to break this zone right here. So we do have some setups potentially about to pop up. Yeah, so that's still rejecting that level. Yeah, so we see GBPJPY touched and rejected back. So that's why I want to see a break underneath because it could reverse back up. I want to see a break underneath. We're still going to just patiently wait for that to do its thing. Same thing with CJ, had this line locked off, price touched it just like the last 15, now it's rejecting off of it. So I want to see this get treated as a resistance level. Right now it's currently getting treated as a support level. I'm gonna make our stop loss a little bit tighter, it doesn't need to be that crazy. Put it like right there. Yeah, so once the price can do it, I had this marked off yesterday. Didn't enter it, was looking at the other pairs we were in, but this thing ripped just like the other JPY pairs when that news came out. And just like USD CHF did yesterday when the news came out. Huge candlesticks. Indices exploded up as well at the same time. But after that huge rip down, it was struggling all morning to even go that far. I'm going to see what these pairs do. So new 5 minute just started. So I want to see what the next 15 does. I want to see this break underneath and then the next 15 start underneath it. And that's what I want to see. GC still struggling. Alright, AD still trying. Yeah, so we're just gonna patiently wait, y'all. We don't control the market, so we just gotta wait for price to come to our ideal entry levels and then go from there. We had a few opportunities that started a little bit before London, but that happens. They could retrace later, or we could find some entries on that later on today. So still not going to give up on those. We're just going to be waiting for these pairs to come to my ideal levels and then go from there. So they're really respecting this level. So I'm going to wait to see what the next 15. If it rejects it again, I might enter, but I ideally want to see it come to the daily zone because it hasn't hit the daily zone yet. Let me see what these pairs are up to real quick. And you still chilling at this lower price. Still respecting it though. So I'm gonna see what the next 15 looks like. Because we see price touched it 3 times and rejected 3 times. And the 5 minutes currently trying to turn green. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. We got about 3 minutes, 2 minutes until that. GC rejecting that level again. So I want to see what's what happened next. That rejected back up. This one's right here. The other one's rejected back up though. This one's right at the level. Did a retest off the daily. Yeah, so let me get this written up because I like how it's looking. But we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes to the next 15. So we'll see what these next 15 look like. So I'm gonna get this written up just in case I do decide to enter it. Just posted out the disclaimer. But I do like how that is looking for now. The other JPY pairs aren't looking exactly the same. That does happen sometimes. We do have to put that into account. GJ is still trying to drop down though. But the other JPY pairs, well, this one's trying to push down too. If we want to see what the next 15 looks like, let's go back to GC also. Okay, this would trace okay, they just retrace for us. Let me see something. Move that along. I guess there's one that looks kind of decent. Still gonna wait though, because it's still too far up. Because the zone's right here, so this is later in the middle of the zone. So I'm still gonna wait. Comes to back down here, maybe. Still gonna wait. See what oil's up to. So we'll head level. Whoops. There we go. So we're gonna see how it reacts to the daily zone. Let's see what the next couple of candlesticks look like. But it has hit the level I wanted to see it hit. You saw the last candlestick when it hit it, rejected, and it's currently doing the same thing. So we're gonna wait to see what the next couple of candlesticks look like for that. GC is dropping down. That's everything's retracing, which is fine. Alright. AJ's dropping. See, this is gonna drop as well. See when JPY is trying to drop some more. Okay, broke above this level now. Yeah, so we'll let these do its thing. So the euro is just pumping right now. I wonder if this is pumping up too. Yeah, so we're just gonna patiently wait. Alright, so price rejected that level. You can see how it reacts to those levels right there. So we're just gonna let it do its thing for now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna watch the end of season stuff. Probably not gonna enter these until either New York or a couple hours until New York, but they all are rejecting. And yeah, the main reason why I was hesitant to enter these because again the move already started, and I don't really like to chase trades. But again, a lot of times you chase trades or you enter a trade too late when the move already started. What happens? 9 times out of 10, retracements happen as soon as you enter. So yeah, we could have been blue a little bit, but with my strategy, I'm trying to get for more pips than just a couple hundred pips, or for US30 a couple thousand. And as you can see, the next couple candlesticks have literally just been red after red after red. So for now, just gonna leave these alone and see what they look like the next couple hours, because literally they're all in the middle of my zones. So there's no point in even trying to mess with them for now. So I'm just gonna leave them alone, let them do their thing. But yeah, but so far everything is just doing its thing. London session activities. This one finally broke above that level. So we're gonna see how it reacts to this level. Gonna be keeping an eye on that. Oil just exploded through that level. That's a huge rip up. So we're just gonna put that to the side and see what the next candlesticks go from there. Yeah, everything's dropping back. So we got another huge rejection off the similar level. So I wonder if we're going to see price drop today. Because just like US30, we can even see on AUD/USD, there's a strong support resistance level. The past couple of days, it's rejected it. So the news coming out is really going to either force price to break this level and continue to push up, or it's going to cause the retracement and possible downtrend for US30 to start. Price hasn't really broken that level. It's almost zone, but every time it's come that high, harsh rejection down, and price has been pumping the past few weeks, if not the past couple of months. And realistically, price has already started to retrace down. So we're going to see what happens with this. So price is currently right back where the past couple of days price is closed at. We see these huge crazy wicks the past couple of days. Just going to see how price reacts. Price is still retracing down though. Almost back to where I would like to enter at. So let's see how the next couple candlesticks react and go from there. This thing just shot up that last 5-minute candlestick. That thing just broke through that level. Struggled to break this level a couple times. Then exploded and ripped through. So now we're currently above this daily zone. It's just a mess. Let's go to the 4-hour. That level right here. Mark this off. Let's see what we find. So we've seen multiple times the same low price. That price was just reacting off of the similar level where price came up last time, then dropped. So I want to see how price reacts to this level here. Then we also look to the past. You can see price multiple times treat this as a support resistance level. So we're going to wait to see how price reacts to that. GBPJPY trying to push back up. So JPY is still trying to drop down. Yeah, so the other JPY pairs, the JPY pairs are kind of moving a little weird as of now, not together. And I noticed that with some of the indices earlier this week as well. So it's definitely been an interesting week. Sure, 30 is dropping back down. Let's go to this. So let's see where US30 is at now. So that's a huge rip down, right back down to this level. So we're going to see how price reacts to this level. Because it really makes sense why I rejected this level. Because again, it was this wall. I struggled to break that wall. Then as soon as it broke it, it struggled to go any higher. We just literally see price just drop back down. So we want to see how it reacts to this level. And see if it's going to try to break that level again, or we want to see if it comes back down to the 4-hour level. But currently, we do see a slight green on it with this new 5-minute. But we're still going to wait. Gold's dropping as well. Yes, everything's reacting. And then again, we see gold hit a level, is rejecting. What else? What was it, NAS or SPX? I think it was SPX. SPX hit a level. They didn't hit a level I marked off, but hit a wall and it's rejecting. They're all doing the same thing. We're just going to let them do their thing. And go from there. So your 80 is kind of at a halt right now. I'm still going to wait. Not going to enter until the next candlestick's rejecting back down, or hits the daily zone and rejects back down. Because price, at least the past couple hours, has been pushing up. So I want to see the momentum switch and see price reject the level before I jump in. That's what I'm just waiting on. See what GBPJPY is up to. So it's still respecting the daily level. So we're just going to wait for price to try to break back above this level here. If it can do so. If the JPY touch that level again, rejects it back up. So yeah, so price layer is just it's slowly drifting, but it's not a lot of volume in the markets right now. And so there's no volume, not really going to try to jump into anything. Maybe cat's tanking as well. That's reversing up as well. Seeing cash dropping too. Being shot up. See what the next 15 looks like. US30 is respecting that level and it's rejecting up, which is a good sign. So we got 2 minutes till next 15. I can see price coming back up to here at around 33,680, 33,670. It's about 2,000 pips. I want to see if it can break that level. So it did do a retest. So we do have a nice bullish push up, and it is respecting that level. I'm gonna wait to see what the next 15 looks like. And go from there. The other ones are right underneath a 4-hour level. That's the only thing. USDX. A little too far to enter that. US30 is the only one that kind of looks like it's at a good entry. It's still not far enough. But they are looking just like US30 right now. So US30 is currently underneath this wall. Cash pushing up. So GBPJPY pairs are pushing back up. So now it's currently above this level. So for now, a sell, I'm gonna scratch that for now. Going to, yes, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. See what this one's up to. It's at a red candle. Alright, so it is rejecting this level. Still hasn't hit the daily zone, but it is rejecting this level. And we do have a strong wall here. So from where it's currently at, it's about, let me do the math real quick. So stop loss for this, I got about at, let's say 54.35. It's currently at 53.70. It's about 65.70 pip stop loss. Not too bad, but it is rejecting this level. It could come hit the definitely a possibility, but it is dropping right now. Yeah, that's a strong wall, would have to break. Yeah, so I'm going to do TP there. All the other pairs I'm looking at are still trying to wind up, so I'm just going to leave them alone. GC is pushing up. I do kind of like how GC is looking as well. Let's see if it can break that level. Alright, so USD is looking nice too. We got a slight wall there, but it did just do a nice retest. So this one's gonna be a little smaller. I'm gonna put the stop loss right here. Like that. I'm gonna get these written up. But we got 2 minutes to the next 5 minutes, so we're gonna see what this 5 minute looks like. I do like this. So let me get this one up real quick. So I was rejecting off that level. So yeah, I want to see. I do like how this looks. Sounds like I got these TPs and stuff written up. I feel like I do this thing a little bit more. I got GBPJPY pushing up. So I want to see what this 5 minute, next 15. I'm gonna go from there. All these price reacts with all these right here. Alright, so a new 5 minute just started. Price is pushing it up, trying to push it up. GBPJPY just broke through that level. Already still pushing up. So we want to see how much farther it's going to push up. That way our stop loss is even smaller, and then we can also catch more pips. So rejected at that level, which isn't a surprise. So we're going to see how it reacts because we do got this bar right here. But again, it still hasn't hit the daily zone, so it could very much so do that. But I do like how GBPJPY is looking. Yeah, so probably trying to break those levels, which is a good sign for us. That's all I like how that's doing. I just checking the level still. Above this level though. So price can come potentially back to 67.80 from 80 USD. Can't see that. My curiosity is gonna see what these are up to. Alright, so these pairs are trying to push up as well. Oil's rejecting that level. gold still trying to break that level. JPY still ranging. New Zealand, so they broke above this level. I'm gonna wait to see how it reacts to the daily zone right there. This is still pushing up. So we're just gonna let it push up some more. So we got a few trade ideas. We're just waiting for them to come to the ideal entries. ADJPY is still trying. ADCAS retracing down still. Yep, so now it's coming to the daily zone. Alright, cool. So I like how GC is looking. And this is why I just want to patiently wait, because again, price has to retrace. So now you just need to know where it's going to retrace. You know, people always say higher lows and lower highs. Well, with this strategy, able to identify key levels. And as we currently can see, price was struggling to break this level, finally broke above it. Then this next level I marked out, we see price struggling to break it. But I want to see how it reacts off the daily zone. And if it continues to respect this daily zone and rejects back down, then we can enter a possible sell, because we do have a strong wall right here that price would have to break if it wants to continue to the upside. So we're going to see how price reacts to that. I like GBPJPY. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. And if it continues to push up, then we can jump in on this and catch some pips. But it is pumping as of now. New 5-minute just started. Okay, so the other Canadian pairs are pushing up. So this one's trying to push up as well. Okay, it's a little too late to enter, but that's pushing up as well. GC, we see trying to push up. Now, if you want to see what this next 15 looks like. ADJPY is still trying to make its way down. Price is still rejecting that level. I'm still going to leave it alone until either comes back down to the daily zone or breaks that level. But for the other JPY pairs, at least for now, still looking for sell setups. Your JPY is rejecting this level and pushing back up as of now. But the other JPY pairs are trying to push down still. So we'll see what the next candlestick looks like. See, we've been jumping into something before the stream ends. Has been a pretty slow hour. There were some moves that started, but they started before London session. And then now, as soon as London session starts, price usually retraces. So it's the retracements. And for most of the other pairs I'm looking at, they're just ranging right now. So we're waiting to see how price reacts to this daily zone. It's finally hitting it. Literally waited all London for it to retrace back up. Then also we're going to be looking to see this next candlestick looks like, because it is pushing up strong. But it's at this wall, so I want to see if it's going to break past this wall or not. But I do have the trade that they're written up. I just got to write the TPs and things down. The price is pushing up as of now. So we have about 40 seconds. It's the price pumping right now. So I can see price coming around 57.70, the highest. Before first retracement up, price continues to pump and go this way, going into New York. Then we can see price comes potentially as high as 58.90, 58.60, or 58.20ish. So we want to see how price reacts to these levels here. All right, hit that level. It's rejecting. I like how that's looking. So just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to look at some other pairs real quick. Okay, user dropping back down. User is dropping back down. Okay, cool. That's one that I push up some more. Just gonna let it push up to almost 2 rejects. Now it's retesting this level here. Let's turn that orange. Now it's retesting this level here, so we're gonna stay on this level. You can see price push up. So they retest the daily level and then it shot back up. So in a second, it keeps looking the way it's looking. You might jump into that. So let's just see what gold's looking like. Okay, gold broke above this now. So we got this level right here. We want to see how it reacts off these levels. Looks like the indices are still retracing. And these are still retracing. Let's see, still pumping. Put a wall right there. Okay, so oil just broke back underneath here. So SL for this, got 87.65. It's about 100 pip stop loss. I do like how this is looking. Just broke underneath though. I might retrace a little bit because it's about to hit this wall right here. But I do like how this is looking. Yeah, it's dumping hard. Alright, so I'm gonna enter oil. There's about 100 pip stop loss off this source. Stop loss is gonna be 87. You said 87.65, 87.70. Yeah, it's dumping right now. Yeah, so I enter this. So it could retrace after hitting this wall, because this would have been thing is ripping as we speak. It was retracing up some. Alright, so let me get these TPs written up real quick. Could retrace and retest the daily level. But yeah, I see it at least coming back to here, if not the 4-hour zone. Alright, so I'll post the TVs and stuff in a second, but I did enter this one. Let me see what these other pairs are up to. Just retracing. Yeah, so the euro's just pumping. Alright, so I'm only on this one. It's at this wall, so I wouldn't be surprised if it retraces to retest this level or this level. But low's looking for a sell. Price did just drop back down. So I am in this one. Somebody get the TPs ran up. This would have been one of the TPs. So that's why we're kind of at a halt. So they're going to trace, retest this level and dump again. Or it's going to break through this level and then react off this level right here. So it's reacting up a little, that's fine. So let's see if we can break that. Yeah, so let me see if we can break that level. Yeah, so let's try to break that level right now. So they're going to break through this level, or the next 15 is going to retest this, and then reattempt to break it. As we can see right here, that's why it came to a halt, because we can clearly see right here, there's a wall right here. Now, if I would have looked at this like 2 seconds earlier, we could have been in profit right now, but it's fine. So let's go see what these other pairs are up to real quick. That's still struggling. All right, so let's see if this next 15 is going to do what I want to see it do. Gold still pumping. So we do have a slight wall right here. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. But if we can stay above this level, we possibly could continue to ride the wave up. If price wants to push up still. See what the indices are up to. The indices is right back at my entry that I would like to enter at. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like for this as well. And see if we can possibly catch some pips. on the indices. So yeah, price is pushing it right now, which is to be expected. ADUSD is trying to push up as well. Oh, I feel like I just turned red. All right, cool. So we got 2 minutes to the next 15. So we want to see what these 15-minute candlesticks look like for your AUD. Oil as well. And then possibly these JPY pairs. The stop loss for your AUD, I got that at 54.40. All right, so things pushing down low. All right. So the candlestick is starting off red. Just going to try to retest that level. So let's see what your AUD's up to. Kind of green. Let's see. If we leave these other pairs alone for now. I want to see if oil can break through that level. Currently on this wall here. But we want to see if we can break through that level. So this we're going to leave alone still. All right, so I'm still going to pay attention to your AUD. I'm about to post the TP of stuff for oil. So that's the only trade I'm in currently. We're going to see if we can catch some pips. It did do a nice drop, but as long as we can respect this level here, and importantly the daily level, we can catch some pips. So I can see retracing up a little bit more. But we're going to see what that's going to do. Everything else, leaving it alone. Let's see what this is looking like. You might pay attention to the indices. ADUSD is trying to pump up as well. It did just hit one of the walls. BJPY struck a drop. I feel like the ADUSD is looking as well. ADUSD is looking. So ADUSD is trying to push. It's got this wall right here. So I want to see if it can break that level. If it can break that level, definitely come up to around 78.80. And then price continues to pump going into New York. then we can catch some more pips. JPY pairs are coming down. I'm not going to jump in those yet. They are dropping down. All right, so I'm gonna get this stuff written up. I do like how this is looking. I still want to see it break this level. So I want to see if it can do so. And then we're going to go from there. So definitely a slow morning, but we're going to see if oil can do its thing. And then we're going to go from there.